Hi everybody. We're going to be making the puzzle piece drawings today, and there's two different puzzle pieces. You can find the PDF document that has all of their dimensions underneath the canvas, underneath the puzzle piece assignment. But otherwise, I'll give you all the dimensions in this video, so you don't necessarily need to follow along with that. But we're going to start, and we're going to make a basic new part. That's all we're going to be doing for the beginning. And we're going to start the sketch very simply like we've done all the other times. We're going to start a 2D sketch at the top. We're going to click on the XY plane. And now we're going to try something new here. So in the past, we've always draw with lines what we need to do, and then we extrude or do something. This time, we're going to start by using the rectangle tool. Rectangle tool is, if you're just making a rectangle or square, it's super easy. You just click, drag once, and you already have all the sides for the rectangle. So it speeds things up a little bit. Now that we have the rectangle, though, we can go ahead and dimension it. Our first puzzle piece that we're making is going to be 1.5 wide, so 1.5 inches wide, by 4 inches tall. So we're going to type 1.5 times 4. It's going to snap to it. And if we click on our front here, we can see we have 1.5 by 4. Okay, I'm going to finish that sketch because we've got the dimensions we need. I'm going to zoom out here using my top plate or cube or whatever it's called. And then I'm going to extrude. Okay, so I'm going to go in the flipped direction. I'm going to go backwards on my extrusion. And I am going to make this 0.5 or 1/2 inch thick. And then hit enter or OK. So we have our piece. This is the main piece. Now we need to do the tricky part, which is going to be adding in all of the holes and all of the detail into the middle of our drawing. So to do that, we're going to start a 2D sketch. We're going to select the main face. Then I'm going to use my cube to get back zoomed in where I need to be. And now we're going to take the circle tool, which we also haven't used before. We've always used points and then put in holes. But we're going to grab the circle tool up on top. And I'm just going to grab and I'll draw 2 circles. And I'm just going to draw them kind of randomly and big because I'm going to show you how we use the dimension tool to now place those circles where they need to be. So we're going to grab the dimension tool. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get these circles to the correct size. Both the circles need to be 1/2 inch thick. So we're going to go 0.5 because they're 0.5 diameter circles. And then I'm going to go 0.5. The next thing that needs to happen is we need to make sure these circles are centered in the middle going this way. Okay, they got to be centered side to side. So I'm going to click in the middle, and I'm going to click on an outside edge, and our part is 1.5 inches thick. So I know that it needs to be 0.75 to be the correct size. So I'm going to go 0.75. Okay, moves that one to the middle. I can do the same thing here. Doesn't matter which edge. I can click on this edge as well, and same thing, 0.75, and both our circles are now in the middle. Okay, next up, we need to make sure our circles are in the correct location going top to bottom. We're going to be making this little rounded over channel. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be drilling 3 circles actually. But when we're drafting it, we're going to do a circle. We're going to draw a straight line between the circles, and then we're going to draw a line coming out towards the edge. So I'll show you here. We're going to click on the center mark on the circle, and I'm going to click on this bottom edge now. So this circle needs to be 2.5 inches or 2.5 up from the bottom. And this one right here needs to be 1 inch below that circle. So that means from the center point to the edge, bottom edge, is going to be 1.5 inches. Okay? Now that we have the circles where we need to, centered this way, 2.5 up from the bottom, 1.5 up from the bottom, and both at a diameter of 1/2 inch, we can go and we can connect them together. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to grab the line tool. And when I grab the line tool, I'm going to come over to the side here and see how that purple line shows up? I want to click right there. That means I'm in the very outside edge of the circle, and I'm drawing from the very outside edge to the very outside edge, so there won't be any overlap. If I zoom in all the way here, you can see there's no overlap. So we need to see that purple line when we draw this line. So same thing here. I'm going to go snap until it makes a purple line. Oops, click, and I think I got it there. You can also see when it makes this little weird circle with the line going through it, that means it's tangential is actually the correct mathematical term. So I did end up, it snapped to it just fine on that one as well. So once I draw this line between, I'm good to go in these circles, and I can do something here. I'm going to quick show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go up to the trim tool, and I want these to be one big part. I'm just going to go straight up through the middle and trim, and we're good to go. This is just a fake little line here that's demonstrating that this is a radius, so we can't delete that. That doesn't actually mean anything. It won't do anything when we extrude. So you can just ignore this little bit down in the corner if your screen does that. Same up here. It's just showing that there was a circle that I trimmed. So we're going to go back to our line tool now. And actually, at this point, let's skip this here. We're not going to go to our line tool. I'm going to finish the sketch here, okay? I'm going to click Finish Sketch. I'm going to come back out here, and I am going to extrude and cut out this hole. So right now it thinks it's going 0.5. If I go to the flipped direction here, it'll go through and cut 0.5 in. I can also go through all, which will go out of the distance, and it will automatically cut in however large or thick the part is. So I'm going to click on that one, distance A there, I'm going to go 0.5, and I'm going to go through all, and then I'm going to hit OK. And we can see here that I made the hole in the middle of the part. We are almost to the end of making puzzle piece number 2 here. And so I'm going to show you we need one more thing. On puzzle piece number 2, there's a radius on all the corners. I'm going to click on fillet up in the top. And a fillet, in basically what it is in drafting terms, it gives a rounded edge on the outside of a part. So I hover over here, you can kind of see that it shows, there's rounded over pieces on the parts. So we're going to give the round over, and we want a 0.25 radius on each edge. And then once we have that typed in, we just go and we select the edges that we want to be radiused. So we're going to click on that one, and you can see how it's kind of showing up. We're going to need to come up to our cube and go to the very far corner, click from the far corner so we can get to this outside edge, and then click on that one. And now, okay, we have all corners of our puzzle piece radius. We can go back to the front, we can look at it from this angle, whatever we need to. This part is finished. So this is puzzle piece number 2. So I'm going to go into my file, save as, and I'm going to save puzzle piece number 2. Okay, save. So I have puzzle piece number 2 saved here. Now, this is very important that you pay attention here. I am going to now edit this piece, and we're going to make puzzle piece number 1. If I were to, and when I finish making puzzle piece, excuse me, I'm going to say this differently here. I'm going to edit this and make puzzle piece number 1. When we get to the end of puzzle piece number 1, we are not going to hit file save. We're going to go file save as, and that will make us, it will have an updated version of both this puzzle piece and the edited puzzle piece version, and we can open them both up and look at them both individually. If you hit file save when we get to the end, it's going to screw you up. So for now, just hold up, bear with me. We're going to hit start 2D sketch. I'm going to click on this face. I'm going to click on the front. I'm going to zoom in for a second here, and I'm going to make a line, okay? I'm going to take that line and I'm going to snap from right here on the edge, go all the way to the outside here, okay? And it's not going to snap to the edge because the fillet's going to kind of screw us up here. So we're just going to go out a little further here. I'm going to kind of cheat. I'm going to go down, make a box, and I'm going to come back over, click, and then I'll go up, okay? Perfect. Now, what we need to do is we need to size this box accordingly. I'm going to start by dimensioning it. This box needs to be a thickness of 1/2 inch, so 0.5. So I'm going to go 0.5, and it's going to make it that long. This line needs to be longer. It needs to stick out all the way past the edge. So if I have 1.5 inches, that means the middle's 3/4 of an inch, and that means it's 1/2 inch. We're just going to go and I'll type in that this is going to be 0.5. That'll snap it out to the outside, okay? Now what I need to do is I can start here where I could go from this spot and I could try to click from the center point. But what we're actually going to do, just to make things simpler, is we have 4 inches top to bottom, and this is 0.5, so we need to go 1/4 inch in either direction. So we need to make this 1.75 from the top to bottom, okay? So I'm going to click on this bottom line. I'm going to click down here. Oh, excuse me, I'm not in dimension. Let me try this again. I'm in dimension. Click on this line, drag all the way to the bottom, click there, and I'm going to make this 1.75. That's going to snap that up, and that's going to center this little spot right in the middle of my part. At this point, I can finish the sketch, and I'm going to come here and I'm going to hit extrude again. And now I'm going to flip the direction here, and I'm going to try clicking through all, and then I'm going to hit OK. And now all of a sudden we have what be the finished part for puzzle piece number 1. So this is where it's important what I was talking about earlier. I kind of got on a big rant. If we hit file save right now, we're going to screw this up, and we're going to save this part, and we'll lose puzzle piece number 2, and we'll have to go back and draw puzzle piece number 2 from scratch. Instead, we can go file, save as, and I already have puzzle piece number 2 in here. Disregard this, I drew this earlier. We already have puzzle piece number 2 in our saved files, and so all I have to do is go puzzle piece, I'll save as puzzle piece 1, I'll hit save, and I have puzzle piece 1. Now, if I go into my files and I go into my recent files here, you can see I have puzzle piece 1. I have puzzle piece 1 on the screen right here. I also can go and open up puzzle piece number 2, and you can see here's puzzle piece number 2, here's puzzle piece number 1. If I would have hit File Save, this would have just purely became the only thing we'd have, and we would have puzzle piece number 2, and we'd have to go back and draw this from scratch and then save it. So by coming in and drawing this first, saving it, or going File Save As, then drawing and cutting out this extruded part, the little extra step we had to do, and hitting File Save As, we don't have to go back and draw puzzle piece number 2 from scratch. Hopefully that's helpful. Feel free to ask me any questions if you need anything from me, and good luck drawing.